What Ferrari just announced for the SF-25 at Monza could rewrite the entire Formula One season. This isn't just another upgrade, it's a daring gamble that could either launch them back into glory or end in total disaster. In front of the passionate tifosi at their home race, Ferrari is rolling out an extreme design no one saw coming. But that's only half the story. Behind the scenes, they've been secretly testing technology from the future devices and strategies that no other team has dared to try. So the real question is this Ferrari's last desperate stand or the first step toward domination? Stick with us, because what's happening at Monza changes everything. This race is Ferrari's homecoming, it's sacred ground, and because the tifosi, those thousands of fans draped in red, demand something extraordinary, Ferrari is willing to take a massive risk. Even if the championship has slipped beyond their reach, even if second place in the constructors' standings is the best they can secure, Ferrari still has one final opportunity to remind the world who they are. The story really began months ago, back in June. That's when Ferrari's leadership made a sobering realization. No matter how hard they pushed, they weren't going to catch the top team in the standings. The gap was too wide. At best, second place was possible. So, their technical director, Loic Serra, made a crucial call. He scrapped a planned floor upgrade for Baku and shifted the focus of the team development on. This year's car was slowed, and attention turned toward 2026, the season when Formula One's new rules will completely reset the game. But Monza was never just another race. Ferrari couldn't turn up to their home track with nothing special. They had to give the tifosi something to cheer for. They had to make a statement. And with this year marking the 50th anniversary of Niki Lauda's first world championship with Ferrari, the pressure became overwhelming. To celebrate, the team even planned special events where fans would get the chance to meet Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton, creating an atmosphere of history, excitement, and anticipation. According to leaks, Ferrari will be bringing not one, but two different rear-wing options for the SF-25. The first is a safer, more conservative design, a carryover wing from last season. But the second, that's where things get interesting. This new design is radical, extreme, and built for one purpose alone: pure speed. It has been meticulously crafted to cut through Monza's long straights with surgical precision, squeezing out every possible fraction of efficiency and top speed, while still keeping the car stable. This was no easy task. The wing design had to survive intense FIA testing. In fact, it only received approval after Ferrari made critical changes to limit how much the structure could flex under load. If it flexed too much, it would have been declared illegal and unsafe. Ferrari's engineers had to tread a razor-thin line between raw power and compliance. That's how serious this gamble is. Ferrari even brought back an engineer who was preparing to leave the team, just to ensure that every FIA inspection was handled with precision and expertise. When practice begins, fans will notice something eye-catching. Ferrari will be spraying the rear wing with bright green Flovis paint. To the untrained eye, it looks like art splattered across a machine. But for Ferrari, every streak of paint is critical data. It reveals how air moves across the surface, whether the design is working, and whether their bold gamble will pay off. It is science painted onto the canvas of speed, and it carries a bigger message. Ferrari is still fighting. But while Ferrari charges into Monza with this extreme rear wing, they are also quietly preparing for something even bigger: the future of Formula One. At a recent Pirelli tire test in Hungary, Ferrari did something no other team dared to try. They rolled out a movable front wing DRS device. Yes, a front wing that can open and close, just like the DRS flap at the back of the car. This was not about Monza. This was about 2026. That's when Formula One's new rules will allow both front and rear wings to move, transforming the cars in ways we've never seen before. And Ferrari, once again, was the first team to take the risk of running it on a real car. While other teams like Aston Martin, McLaren, Alpine, and Racing Bulls chose the safe route and stuck to conventional testing programs, Ferrari decided to push the limits. They bolted a revolutionary movable front wing DRS device onto their mule car. and sent Charles Leclerc out on track to gather data no one else had. It was a bold decision that instantly set Ferrari apart from the rest of the grid. Mario Isola, the boss of Pirelli, later explained why this experiment was so significant. He admitted that the current generation of Formula One cars don't depend heavily on their wings. For downforce, most of it comes from the floor. That meant the front wing DRS wasn't showing its full potential in this test. But when the sweeping 2026 regulations arrive, that balance will change dramatically, and movable wings will play a much greater role. By running it now, Ferrari gained unique insights into a technology that could reshape the sport. But this test wasn't only about aerodynamics. It was also critical for tire development. With the September 1st homologation deadline fast approaching, Pirelli needed final data to lock in the compounds for 2026. Ferrari's willingness to test and provide feedback directly influenced those designs, giving them a strategic advantage heading into the future. The new tires may remain 18 inches in size, but that's where the similarities end. They're smaller in diameter, different in width, and feature a completely redesigned profile. With a smaller contact patch, these tires will experience greater pressure in smaller areas, increasing the risk of blistering and overheating. Ferrari's feedback during the Hungary test was vital in helping Pirelli adjust their compounds and construction. And it didn't stop there. Pirelli also provides digital tire models to the teams, allowing them to run future simulations. These digital models, combined with Ferrari's real-world data, mean that Ferrari can now prepare for 2026 in ways their rivals cannot. What's really happening here is that Ferrari is running two races at once. On one hand, they're gambling everything on Monza, bringing the extreme rear wing to thrill their home crowd. On the other, they're already preparing for the new era of Formula One, testing movable aero devices and shaping the future of tires. It's two timelines converging under one banner. One is about immediate glory, the other about long-term dominance, and both are driven by the same mission: to prove that Ferrari is not done yet. But questions linger. Is this brilliance or desperation disguised as innovation? If the rear wing gamble fails at Monza, Ferrari risks humiliation in front of the most passionate fan base in the world. But if it works, if the SF-25 flies down those legendary straights and delivers the performance they've promised, it won't just electrify the Tifosi, it will send shivers through the rest of the grid. Because while other teams play it safe, Ferrari is taking risks. And in Formula One, risks are where legends are born. By now, the whispers of Ferrari's gamble have spread throughout the paddock. Rivals watch closely, engineers murmur in hushed tones, journalists speculate, and above it all, the chants of the Tifosi echo across Monza, long before the lights go out. At Monza, Ferrari isn't whispering anymore. They're roaring, and the world is listening. So, is this Ferrari's final gamble or the start of a new era? The answer will unfold on Monza's legendary straights, with the Tifosi roaring them on. One thing's certain: Ferrari refuses to be ignored. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Formula One stories. Thanks for watching.